So this is part 2 to my sex video. And sex in New Earth. Yes, guys, we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about sex a lot in New Earth because we have to, because it's very fucked up the way that we view it. It's fucked up for women, it's fucked up for men, it's fucked up for all of us, and a lot of that has to do with Christianity and purity culture. And also then we have porn culture. So we have that was the craziest thing is I used to go sit in church and it is the craziest thing because, okay, so I used to have this little Girl Scout group when I was growing up, right? And there's a girl in my Girl Scout group, and her mom was the Girl Scout leader, right? And then I ended up leaving that town and moving to a different town. And so I kind of left all those girls behind, right? Because I had to, because I moved to a different town. But later on in my life, I ended up going to a church that was closer to my old hometown. And this little girl who I used to go to, she wasn't little anymore, she was my age. Her brother ended up speaking in front of our entire church about how he had a porn addiction. And it's just now I'm looking at it well, Christianity caused that. Here he is, coming up airing out all his fucking sins, saying it's all his fault. Meanwhile, it's that purity culture, it's this repression culture that we have around sex that has caused this issue, Back then I was wow, he's so brave for coming up and telling everybody about his his sins and his porn culture. And now I'm this is literally ridiculous that it was basically a public shaming ritual for in the place that caused it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just now I'm just this shit's crazy. But that is such a weird thing that Christians are they're you need to not masturbate. You need to that's a sin. It doesn't even say that in the Bible. This is what I'm saying. Christians have made up shit that's not even in the fucking Bible. A lot. Hell isn't in the Bible. Not masturbating isn't in the fucking Bible. Hating trans people. There's nothing about hating fucking trans people in the Bible. Or gay people. It doesn't say hate them. So that's why I'm bro, Christians aren't even following their own fucking rules. And they fucked up sex, and they fucked up pleasure, and they fucked up fucking getting married, and all this crazy shit that Christianity is fucked up, Obviously the idea of Jesus and all this stuff, you can see, it's very obvious now that something is very deeply wrong with that religion, and it was calculated and created specifically to make us hate our lives and to stay in line. Somebody very intellectual will have to figure out, the exact mechanisms and why they use sex specifically. I think it's because why they why they did what they did, why they repressed it from us, but then they also showed it in our faces all the time. I don't maybe it was to create addiction for men and then make women feel ashamed and smaller and again, because the sex culture has ruined women's body standards. Women have to fit these pornographic body standards in order to be sexually desirable. So that's why I felt I can't even, enjoy sex because I'm not even sexually desirable. I'm just a fat lard that nobody wants to fuck. And that is the mindset that I was in when I became a sugar baby. Was at least I am fuckable every single time I left a client. That's how bad my mental health was. And that's how bad my neural pathways were. And here I am now, so many years outside of that, realizing that none of that was my fucking fault. All of that was given to me by society and by what I was raised by and by the religion that I was raised by and by the parents that I was raised by and by the society that I was raised by. And the way that I was treated as a woman from men. And it didn't make sense to me because I never treated, of course, men or women based on my sexual desire for them. And so when I was getting it, I couldn't understand it. So then because I don't know, I wanted external validation, or I just wanted to feel like I fit in, or I just wanted, women, we just want to feel beautiful. We just want to feel sexually desired. And, we're told, well, if you don't fit this exact standard, too bad. You will never feel that in your entire life. How horrible is that? How terrible is this society to do that to women? That's why I'm I'm gonna change this fucking place. There are little girls out there who don't fucking deserve that shit. And there are little boys out there who don't deserve that shit either. Because it wasn't just, luckily now I can feel empathetic towards the men who treated me that way. Because it's they were horribly awful and rude. But they were trained that way. They were socialized that way too. It's not their fault that they had a bunch of dudes who were just talking about sex. You know, it's like that's so normalized. Is to just like talk about that, you know, like in those groups is like women's bodies and their body count and how hot she was and like all this stuff, and it's like so superficial and it's so vapid and it's so empty, and it's so, because you know, sex is like something that is so temporary, you know, it's something that you just experience for a few minutes or like an hour or something, like, I don't know, there's some people who are really into it for hours and hours, but you know what I'm saying, it's something that's like temporary, and it's not something that's part of everybody's everyday life, and it's just like, so it's weird how we've like become obsessed with it, but we also like repress it at the same time. It's very bizarre. And then you see this stuff in the Duggars where it's like cause people to become like predators and things like that, like repression. You can see causes people to be predators because they don't feel like they are allowed to have sex and feel good about it. And I do feel like some people are more into sex than other people, but they don't feel like they can express that, and so then it gets all jacked up, you know, and then they see things on a screen, because here's the deal too, again, this is going to be a very controversial take, but if you see something, like, our brains visually seeing sex will like cause our brains to light up in that part of our brains. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there are parts of me that believe that people aren't actually pedophiles, that porn has caused it. Like, because I'm like, you know, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, you had to have been raped as a child in order to rape another child. But I don't always think that's the case. I think sometimes they see it on the internet, and then like that causes like this weird thing in them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you see sex alone, it causes that to like light up in the brain. So if that's what you happen to stumble upon on the fucking internet or something like that, you know, then that's what you go into. Or it's like, again, like children are easier to control or manipulate or told, like if you tell anybody, like, I'll hurt you, like kind of a thing, like you can't manipulate an adult as much. And so I think that's, again, why people target that, just so they can get like this, they're like addicted to it the way that I was addicted to food. That's the only thing that I can think of, you know? And I do think, you know, the fault's not totally on them. Now, again, the actions are on them, but I'm like, how can I judge people when I got fat as shit and I ate all this fucking food? I was doing the same thing with food that people do with sex. So it's like, okay, I just chose a socially appropriate one that didn't harm people, luckily, but that's because that's the berries of baskets that I got put in. Like, what if I got put in a berries of baskets where that was, like, in front of me, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if that had happened to me. So that's why I'm saying, like, there's, like, so much more to the issues that we're seeing in society now than just people are awful people. People are programmed this way. People are repressed this way. People are shamed in certain ways. Like, especially around sex, because that is part of our animalistic nature, is like that sex drive. It's like this thing that drives people to do crazy shit. You know, a cheese fry might cause me to do some crazy shit, you know, but nothing to hurt people. So that's just like, again, where I don't, but that's just because I'm an older soul. So again, this is why we have to take care of the younger souls, because they are closer to that animal side of us. The older people are older, like closer to the alien side of us. That's truly how I believe and feel now. And so this is why we have to take good care of the young souls, and like why it's all fucked up, because the young souls are the ones running it. And it's sad because you can see how calculated this has all been, because this has been very calculated, a very specific way to like make our lives as miserable as possible. And I would call that hell. I would call exactly what we're existing in right now hell. If there was a hell on earth, we would be in it. So it's just very sad. It is very sad, the state of the world, and we need extreme intervention. And this is where, again, we have to go to God and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, so many things. Like, bro, I'm so, like, this is like what souls agree to. That's what he keeps saying. He's like, I know y'all forget, but like, you guys did agree to this shit, and it's your soul age, and it's karma, and it's, you got to get to me in all your soul lives. So you start off away from me, and that's all I can say to you. And I'm like, that's not good enough. We need change then. Okay, fine, I'll take that answer, but we need actual fucking change then. Okay, great. Explanation, give me solutions.